This is the story of a girl named Cairo who falls in love with her teacher. After which, what happens between these two? Let's see the story. In the beginning of the story, we see Cairo who wants to become a writer. That's why whenever she gets time, she sits down to write. She had taken admission in a high school today. Cairo starts going to school on the way to a jungle in the morning. Cairo leaves so early because she does not want to miss her teacher's class in any way. Anyway, after a while, Cairo reaches the school where we see Jonathan, who was already present here. Jonathan is surprised to see Cairo because this was not the time to come to school. Apart from this, no other student had come here. Here we know about Jonathan, who wanted to become a great writer since childhood. But he could not. That's why, due to compulsion, he became a teacher. Jonathan asks Cairo about it, on which Cairo gives him his introduction and also says that my friend Minnie has asked me to attend your class. Jonathan gives Cairo to read some books related to the syllabus, on which Cairo says that I have already read these books, which surprises Jonathan a little. But during this time, Cairo's friend, whose name is Minnie, comes here. And anyway, there was a lot of time for the class to start, so Minnie takes Cairo out with her. After they leave, Jonathan starts looking at the books of Cairo kept here. In these books, Jonathan gets to see a romantic book. But during this time, a fat teacher comes here, whose name is Boris. Jonathan and Boris are very good friends of each other. Boris takes this book of Cairo from Jonathan's hand and starts reading it himself and says that since when have you started reading such books? Jonathan says that this book is not actually mine, but of a new student whose name is Cairo. Anyway, after this we see the scene of the night. Here, Jonathan is present at his house with his wife, but his wife is busy with her work. While Jonathan was talking to her romantically and says that a new girl had come to my class today and she had brought a romantic book with her. The two of them talk to each other for a while and then start dancing, and slowly they start getting closer to each other. But during this time, someone's call comes to his wife, which makes Jonathan have to stop in the middle. Now in the morning, Jonathan was sitting outside in a ground with his friend Boris and was looking at the dense forest in front of him and imagines in himself how dangerous this forest is. But then Cairo comes out of this forest. Cairo was looking very beautiful today. In a little while, Cairo comes to him and starts talking to them. During which we find out that today Cairo did not have breakfast in the morning, so Boris gives him some biscuits to eat. Here Jonathan was looking at him strangely. After talking for a while, Boris leaves from here and the two of them are left. Jonathan asks the cowards, "Are you afraid of coming from this deep forest? There may be a danger, a wild animal," on which the cowards say, "Actually, I am in the biggest danger in this forest, so what am I afraid of?" After this, we see the scene of the school. Here we see Minnie, who deliberately drops a book after seeing Boris. Seeing this, Boris comes to her. Actually, Minnie has liked Boris for many days, and while flirting with Boris, she tries to get close to him. But Boris is a teacher, so he does not like this behavior of Minnie at all and leaves from here in anger. Here we see the cowards who were watching all this drama from a little distance. The Arabs come to her and tell Minnie, "What nonsense were you doing? Are you crazy? He is your teacher. You should not do this to him." To which Minnie says, "Oh, are you jealous?" The cowards say, "There is nothing like that. I am just surprised that you can say such things to a teacher." Anyway, after this, both are in a room. Here Minnie says to the cowards, "Cowards, you are very beautiful. You should use your beauty." But the cowards say, "I do not have time for such useless things." Then Minnie tells him her real planning and says that I like Boris very much, and I want to get into his relationship. But the cowards say, "I have no interest in all this. Anyway, I have to write a great diary about my life, but I do not understand what to write." Then Minnie says to him, "You listen to me and say that you start an affair with Jonathan, and based on that you write your achievement. This will be the best achievement of your life." But the cowards say, "No, I cannot do this to him. He is much older than me." But Minnie praises Jonathan a lot in front of him, which makes the cowards melt slowly. After a while, Minnie leaves him, and now the cowards start reading some of Jonathan's books and start thinking about him. The next day, we see the class scene where the cowards were looking at Jonathan with deep eyes. Suddenly, Jonathan's eyes go over the cowards and notices that the cowards are looking at him. Jonathan comes to him and tells him slowly that meet me alone after the class. After a while, the class ends and Jonathan starts waiting for the cowards. But in the meantime, his friend Boris comes here and says to him laughing that I know that you have started liking that coward's girl. But Jonathan says that there is nothing like that and tells him to go away from here. But before going, Boris does a funny dance in front of him which makes Jonathan laugh and Boris leaves while dancing. After Boris leaves, Jonathan himself starts doing the same dance, but then the cowards come here and see him dancing like this and start laughing at him. After a while, both of them sit in front of each other and start talking to each other. The cowards say that I remember one paragraph of your book Muhajabani. Hearing this, Jonathan is very happy and tells him that I want you to write a short story. If I like your story, I will give you good marks. After this, on the weekend, Jonathan brings the cowards to a beautiful place with him. Here, the poet was narrating his story to both of them. Jonathan was listening to the story deeply while the coward's eyes were only on Jonathan. After this, Jonathan was having dinner with his wife and Boris, but at the same time, Minnie comes here who works as a waiter in this restaurant. Jonathan's wife asks if she is the same girl whom you were talking about. To which Jonathan says, "No, she is not her, but she is Minnie and her name is Coward. She is a very good girl and also praises her a lot." Hearing the praise of a stranger from Jonathan's mouth, his wife feels bad and starts beating Jonathan in front of Boris. The next day, both of them are sitting in this playground. That's when the cowards come from the deep jungle. Today, the cowards have also brought coffee for them. Boris leaves with the coffee so that both of them can talk to each other. Both of them talk to each other for a long time and share some of their secrets. After this, Jonathan gets a message from his wife that we are going out somewhere. After this, Jonathan comes to his class. Here, the cowards tell him about their favorite writer and she tries to attract him with her style. But Jonathan feels a little scared, so he leaves from here as a sister of his house. Immediately after this, Minnie comes here and starts making fun of her friend with the cowards. But that's when Boris comes here. Minnie starts flirting with Boris again and takes Boris's mobile and keeps it in her clothes and says that if you want your mobile, then come and take it yourself. On the other side, Jonathan is seen at his house. During this time, he gets a call from the cowards. Actually, Jonathan brought the coward's mobile with him by mistake. After a while, Jonathan sits in his car and goes to return the coward's mobile. And as soon as he reaches the coward's house, it starts raining here, because of which Jonathan does not get out of the car. But then the cowards come out in the rain wearing a very beautiful dress and ask Jonathan to come to them. But Jonathan was a little scared but still goes to him with courage. The cowards come straight to him and kiss him, because of which Jonathan is completely immersed in his love. After this, we see the scene of tomorrow where Jonathan is at his house. There, because of something, Jonathan's wife, Jonathan, gets into a fight. That's why Jonathan gets angry and goes to a cabin a little far from here and starts checking his email here. So he gets a story written by the cowards here, which is actually a romantic story, and this story is based on a student and a teacher. Jonathan likes this story very much, but only then he realizes that this story is written on the cowards towards me. That is, the cowards who are doing all this are doing it just for a story. Because of which Jonathan gets angry. Now the next day we see the scene of the class. Here, Jonathan's behavior has completely changed. He wasn't even looking at the cowards. The cowards ask him the reason for his behavior. Jonathan says, "I don't want the world to know about our relationship because you have written everything true in that story. You will have to change that story. This story will have a bad effect on people, and anyway there is nothing like that between us." And he says that if you don't change the story, then I can fail you in your subject. Because of which the cowards get angry, and she says that you are jealous of me because I wrote such a story that you could not write in your whole life. That's why you are jealous of me. And the cowards leave from here crying and start drinking at home. On one side, we see Jonathan, who is present at his house. Jonathan is very upset here. He doesn't understand anything. That what should I do now? Meanwhile, Jonathan's wife starts reading the romantic story written by the cowards, which makes her angry and starts coming close to Jonathan. But meanwhile, Boris comes here, which stops their work in the middle. On one side, we see both of them. Here the cowards were angry and says to Minnie that now I don't have any interest in Jonathan. And says to Minnie that you message Boris. Minnie starts messaging Boris, but Boris ignores Minnie's message because Boris knows that she will spoil his mind unnecessarily. That's why he doesn't reply to Minnie's message. But then the cowards click a photo and send it to Boris. Seeing this, Boris feels something strange and leaves from here. After a while, Jonathan's wife gets a call from the school and tells the cowards everything about the relationship now she knows everything about, and goes to Jonathan and gets angry at him. Jonathan says that it's nothing like that and it's all a lie. But she doesn't believe what Jonathan says. The next day, we see the class scene, but today the cowards were not here but in the principal's room. The cowards tell the principal everything about their relationship. After this, Madame Principal calls Jonathan to her and asks him about the truth, on which Jonathan tells him everything as the cowards told him. Hearing this, the principal gets angry and expels him from the school. After this, Jonathan is sad and sits outside the school. That's when Boris comes and tells him that he shouldn't have made such a relationship with a student. After this, Jonathan goes home and tells his wife that he has been fired. His wife asks him the reason, but Jonathan doesn't tell her. But his wife knows why he was fired. Here, his wife gets angry and tells Jonathan that she doesn't want to live with him and wants a divorce. But Jonathan says that she doesn't believe him, but his wife doesn't listen to him and gets angry and leaves. Now, Jonathan is all alone and his one mistake ruins his relationship. On one side, we see the cowards and Minnie. Minnie tells the cowards that, "What have you done? Jonathan lost his job because of you. He is all alone. Don't you think you have done wrong to him? Don't you feel a little bad for him?" The cowards say, "No, why would I feel bad? I used him and he used me. And anyway, for my admission I needed a true story, which I did." The cowards write the story as per their experience, and as he said to Jonathan in the beginning of the story, that I am the most dangerous in this jungle, and today he did it. And with this, the story ends. But what the cowards did to Jonathan was not right at all. He played with his life for his story. Friends, I hope you liked this story. If you liked it, please like the video and subscribe to the channel Movie XR Explain. Thank you for watching.